Alright, so a real and proper focused video about what I'm doing to fix up the new engines I got last week and stuff. So this little one, this stick is the one that was holding just the first two. It's labeled. The screws are sticking out of it. I'm going to get my safety glasses on, and I meant to set up my Dremel for all this before I started the video, but I guess we'll have a brief pause while I put the cutter in. So I grabbed my safety glasses and I have those on. I'm just using a cutoff wheel in my Dremel to make a quick notch on these. Yeah, I remembered where my frame is so that you can see that. It doesn't actually matter because there's no mark on this needle valve already, but I'm making sure it's seated all the way closed, that way it won't vibrate while I'm running the Dremel on it. So I'm just going to angle this so it doesn't angle that so it doesn't shoot on the camera. But now there is a little notch in there so that when I open this and adjust it, I know where to put it, and I know how far open it is. That's really going to help out with running this. And here's my rag. Notice there's some oil dripping on here already. This is the ET7, I think. Can't remember. This is the one with the ball governor on it. It is also... Nope. The other thing I did was I remembered to mark the on-off on these, since the original vertical and horizontal engines I got, the ET1 and the ET6, are backwards to each other, but both of the ET6 and the ET7 are the same way, where on is towards the edge of the box and off is that way. So I'll grab my Dremel and put a notch on this needle valve. There we go. So now I'll be able to adjust that properly. So yeah, this is the engine with the long rocker arm for the valve. So this is the one that I immediately dropped accidentally last week. I wasn't paying attention, it fell off the table. There's a spot there on the pole starter that got whacked and bent, but otherwise I have looked very carefully at this, and it does not seem to be, the crankshaft doesn't seem bent or anything. Nothing else seems bent, so I'm pretty sure that when I get to playing with these, they should be fine. So now let's line these up and make a few holes to mount them. So this second mounting bar, I'm gonna, so to make sure that you guys can see them when I'm videotaping, I always run them with the valve gear on this, I call the front, because it's got the valve gear and flywheel, or in the governor on it, and then I attach through the back side onto this bar. So look, that seems about even. So I'm just gonna mark here where the two engines sit. And then drill a set of holes. The other screws I was using were some plain wood screws I had sitting around, but I found these in my collection of random screws, because again, I live in a condo, so I don't have a lot of room to be keeping stuff around or buying new extra parts or having a lot of tools, so I tend to be very scavengy. These are leftover from IKEA bookshelves. They're the screws that supposed to hold the handles on the door, but they have this nice smooth shank, and I checked them out. They're going to be just the right length to go straight through this bar and connect into the engines. So I'm going to just drill out a series of holes for those. Let's see. In the bar, they should be more clearance holes because I don't want any grip on the wood bar. So I guess I'm going to use that 1/8 inch drill here. I do not want to make a mess of my table, so I guess I'm gonna, because that's the face I'm gonna drill holes into. I'm gonna just use the old bar, and it'll make some maybe not pretty holes, but you know what? I'm gonna just use my trick. Anybody who owns an electric cordless drill, oh, that is as far back in there as you go. When you're using shorter drill bits, sometimes you can adjust them so that they'll stop at the chuck, and then you can just drill and go through and not worry about it. I'm going to drill these kind of close to the end, and I'm just stopping when I feel it go into the next piece of wood. And then I want to mount all 4 engines on this bar when I feel like it, so I'm going to take a second to take a second to look at the holes that I have in the first 2 engines so that I don't get too close to those. I think I need to go, these are going to have to be inboard. There we go. Holes drilled there without incident, and we're still in shot. Cool. I guess another thing I forgot to mention earlier is so on the first horizontal engine, the corner of the box, we learned that they're just square, flat glued joints. So I have some nails from the same IKEA bookshelf, I think, that were left over. Yeah, I don't remember where. I found some nails and just carefully pre-drilled them through the side and then tacked them into the end pieces to help hold these joints together. So, down a size on my drill. Actually 2 sizes, and I live in America, so they're imperial drills because that's what I have laying around. Okay. Again, try to measure that more exactly, and then I did, because the ignition box is just loose in there. I did drill the ignition box in, so I'm double checking that I'm not going to accidentally drill into, or glued that down. I'm checking I'm not going to accidentally drill into that when I drill the mounting holes. And again, the hole is way over here, so we're good there. And I just like glued that in place. And we're gonna move back here because I need to bring this up to the edge so that I have clearance for the drill chuck when I do this. So, yeah, handheld camera work. Well, moving a tripod, but you know. Oh. Thought I had the chuck tightened there. First screw in. There we go. Now that I have the first screw in, be able to put these other holes in. If I hadn't put that first screw in, then this engine could have slid and I wouldn't be able to just hold it here and drill these other holes for this engine. So now that I have the one engine in place, it lines up all the other holes. And what would I do really like having the vertical engine on the far right hand side, so I'll check to make sure that the ignition system is going to be out of the way, and really block things with my arm there, but here we go. Okay. There. So, made sure that I got the 4 mounting holes on the side of this vertical engine in completely different places so that I won't have as big a deal with the blowout from screwing in and out of the holes. So, and I did not get those centered at all, because the vertical engine, there's a little stick out off the end of this bar, and here I've got a 1/2 inch gap, but this is a, you know, kind of ramshackle mounting system. Again, 4 separate holes for that, so that's good. And I'll be able to put that together, and it should hide nicely behind those engines when I make videos. So, alright. I got these all figured out, and a little mounting, and I made the adjustments on the 6 and 7 engines. So I think I'm gonna break this video here, and then there's one more thing I want to do on the vertical engine, so I'm gonna prep for that and be back.